Hello, welcome back. I'm Naomi and you're listening to Before Birth. I have my husband Thomas here with me today and we'll be talking everything about support person.
Wow, hey everyone. Excited to be here.
Thank you for being here.
It's a long trip, it took me a long time to get here. But I arrived safely, which is good. I just want to say you look gorgeous, amazing, stunning. I look at you and I just know that God's blessed me. I'm just like, wow, I've got God's favour.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
So, as you are approaching the birth, you're going to start thinking about who you want beside you. And when I think about my birthing experiences, I could not have done it without Thomas. He was my anchor throughout every single contraction, just the whole process. I could not have done it without you. So thank you so much for being here and being there when it mattered the most.
Thank you.
And now you can teach everybody else how to be the best support person through birth.
It's just so nice to hear that because as a support person, especially when you first go of it, when your first child is expected and you're trying to figure out what your role is, and especially not having any exposure to this, it was really just a big learning curve for me. So to hear that, it was important to you and had that impact in your experience, it means a lot because I didn't know what I was doing. But I just was conscious of a lot of things. I was conscious of making sure that you were calm and you knew you were supported. From my perspective, just let you tell me what you need and just do my best to support you.
Yeah, ladies, don't be afraid to tell your partner what you need during birth. But let's get into some questions because I wrote a few questions that I want to ask Thomas. The first one is, when you think about the birth that is coming up, what do you feel?
So now it's really, for me, it's excitement. So I feel ready. I feel like I'm competent as a parent. So for me, this birth is like, all right, let's add this child into the beautiful atmosphere we have at home, the beautiful dynamic we have here. So super excited, no nerves, no concerns. I don't know, maybe the third is you just feel so confident, and that's a testament to how much attention I've given parenting, because I know that I don't feel scared even at the newborn stage anymore. I didn't know what the first, with Valentina, I had no idea what to do. I didn't know how to change a nappy. I never held a newborn. It's terrifying. And now I'm like excited to experience the newborn phase with this confidence and knowing like I'm not, not trying to run away from certain parts of it, just embracing every single part of the journey there.
Yeah, actually with this birth, I do feel the most excited as well. Because I'm so much more prepared mentally, physically, everything. I'm so ready. I'm so excited. So, okay, thank you. Number two. So when you think back at the first birth with Valentina, is there a moment that you remember the most?
What, during the birth or the pregnancy?
No, the birth.
So I remember that we had a birth plan and we were very conscious of our decisions in the birth plan. And so my memories was like, I was sticking to the birth plan. So you went into hypnobirth at one point, so you were very much in a different altered state of consciousness, you could say. And you were very much in this very, animalistic, just space of birth.
Yeah.
You were one with the birth, and that's the best way to explain it. It's like you were in the birth.
Yeah.
There was no that, I'm now going to comment on what I'm experiencing, you were in.
Yeah.
And then we had some, medical staff that tried to deviate us from the birth plan, and I wouldn't do it. We were confident in the data we looked at, and that's what I remember is sticking to your birth plan, even when there's pressure not to, because in the end, our decisions were right, and when things go wrong, and they're not your decisions, who are you going to blame? You're going to blame someone else.
Thank you. And just on that, another thing is about your support person has to know you really well and know how you're responding and how you're dealing with birth. Because if you saw me under stress, you would probably respond differently and more in line with what the medical recommendation was, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But I was so calm, I was so ready. He knew that I wanted to stick to my birth plan, but of course make sure it's safe. That's priority number one.
Yeah, it's definitely safe.
Make sure the baby's safe. So
where people are comfortable in the word safe is very different. So be comfortable with what's safe for you, and do your research going in 100%, because there's a lot of different perspectives on what is safe in birth, and every medical staff has their own risk appetite, and the hospital informs that. So, you know, like, and their own policies and procedures. So just, you know, make sure you're comfortable with the decisions that you make going in, and back yourself.
Right, I agree. So what do you think your role is when I'm in labour? Just a fly on the wall.
Just, you know, just be there for whatever is going to help you move through that experience, you know. So if you need the TENS machine on, if you need it to be higher, lower, you know, you're very adamant about my choice of strength. You had very strong preferences around that. So yeah, I think it's really listening, being aware and being present. So stop trying to think about when's the baby going to come. Don't worry about all the outcomes. Focus on the moment. Be there with your partner, and obviously, you know, just listen, hear, and be available to support.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's all about communicating, isn't it? And just being a bit proactive as well.
And don't take anything personally. Like, you know, like you've just got to be there and recognize you're playing the Scottie Pippen to the Michael Jordan. You know, that's how like, it's a good sports analogy for the guys out there who care about trying to figure it out before they go in. You're just playing support, and you're really there to make sure that, you know, your partner who's undergoing such a intense physical experience, and it's a beautiful one, but it is intense and it's raw in a lot of ways, that you're just making it them as comfortable as possible, and that you're showing them that you're there, and you're doing what needs to be done.
Yeah, you do that really well.
Yeah, thank you. I'm a good Scottie Pippen, 33.
You're
a great 23, you know.
Yeah. What's Scottie Pippen?
33.
You're a great 33.
I'm a great 33.
You're the best 33.
Thank you, darling.
So when I'm in pain, what do you do?
What do I do when you're in pain?
Yeah.
I just ask what you need. Like, what do you need to happen? Like, what do you need now? Like, do you need some food? Do you need some water? Do you need some TENS machine? Just trying to figure out what I can do to help you move through that pain. Not to like escape the pain, because pain's part of the process. Is actually getting your body ready to, you know, give birth. So like, not trying to escape the pain, but just trying to make you feel comfortable through it.
Yeah. So just like, maybe this question's a bit, I should have prefaced it a little bit differently. So what do you do? Because you may, a support person may panic.
Oh, okay.
At the sight of maybe their partner being a little bit distressed, or, you know, in some pain, and maybe saying, like, how do you deal with, how can a support person prepare for what that will look like in the room?
Well, you want to make sure that your nervous system's like chilled out. So you got to do your own breathing. You probably should get like some, you know, I used to call it meditation. Now I pray because, you know, I'm a Christian, and I realize that prayers are a much more powerful tool than emptying the mind. You know, you can actually actively communicate what you're going through. So listen, however you want to approach it, you want to find a way to down-regulate your nervous system. That's something I'm very conscious of, especially going in, understanding how the nervous system works, knowing how your nervous system responds to stress, and obviously someone that you love's in pain is very stressful. So just prepare yourself by doing activities, breath work, maybe some cold water exposure. Just get your nervous system ready for intensity, so that you're staying calm, because the last thing that you want to do is heighten any feelings of anxiety that might come up, because the pain hits, and I think, you know, when it hits, you've got to be ready for it, because it's not stopping until baby comes, you know.
Yeah.
So I would just say, definitely don't freak out, but prepare yourself not to freak out. Don't go in there without having done some kind of regulation of your nervous system preparation going in. Yeah.
And would you add like having a good rest as well, eating well as well, just so you're like prepared?
Or going in that day?
Yeah, going in that day.
Well, I stress eat. So I stress eat when I'm in there. So like for me, one of the things that I do is have a big bag of food and just eat the whole time.
Yeah.
Whether I'm just burning a lot of energy, I don't know.
Yeah. You're burning energy.
Yeah. I just was like eating a whole bag of food. You know.
You ate for hours. It was hilarious. I was like, are you kidding me? What's next?
10 minutes later was forever. We're there for like a day or something, right? So like, you know, going out, I said, oh, here's the sandwiches. You know, you got to help yourself. I ate the whole fridge of sandwiches. And no one else got any sandwiches. It was horrible. But I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like, definitely have, you want to be, you know, well hydrated. You want to have some electrolytes. Support yourself as well. You don't want to go in there with an empty cup. You want to definitely make sure you're ready to, you know, go in there and just be on.
Yeah. Okay, what have you learned from our previous births?
get the right support people, get the right midwife. I think
Yeah.
is something like, I don't know, it's really important to have the right people in the room.
Yeah.
With Valentina, we had a lot of different midwives coming in during the shifts, whereas with Romeo, we had a midwife who's lovely, her name's Caitlin, and she supported us not only through the process leading up, but was there, and because we had that familiarity with her, she knew our plan, she knew who we were. That program that they run in New South Wales, I'm not sure what it's called.
The midwife program.
Midwife program. This should be done nationally.
I'll link
Like
it.
this is an amazing.
Yeah.
You get connected with the midwife. You speak to the midwife. You have a relationship with the midwife, and then they're there when your baby comes. So, and they're the one delivering. So, me and Caitlin had this relationship leading up, knowing that I was going to be supporting, and on the night it just meant so much to have her there, and I ended up catching Romeo. And she was there next to me though, so having someone that you know and that you're familiar with was, I think huge. I would say, like, getting the right support from your medical professionals. You can only do so much if you haven't got the right support around you, but with the right support, it's almost night and day experience between Valentina and Romeo.
Yeah, I would agree as well. So picking, the right OB or the midwife and the right program, the right way you would choose to give birth is so important. What do you plan to do differently this time?
What I did differently? I think I'm gonna do a little more prayer. So I wasn't really like praying to God at that time. I was in a different space spiritually.
Yeah.
So for me now, it's really about like putting God at the center of the experience and knowing that it's actually God who's controlling everything.
Yeah.
So to praying in thanksgiving and praying in like just gratitude, but also in request for a great birth and a great experience, and just realizing like you're in God's hands. This body, your body is just literally becoming like its own mechanism for birth.
Yeah.
And you probably know that better than anyone in terms of, well, better than me anyway, like what it feels like when those contractions start and you're in this, very visceral experience. Like there's a surrender that happens, and I saw it from the outside, and maybe you can speak more to what happens directly. So that's what I'll be doing differently this time, is praying a lot and making sure that this child is born into an atmosphere where God's invited in and the Holy Spirit's invited in, and we know that Jesus is with us the whole way.
I love that. Thank you. Okay. And what do you want other partners, support people to understand?
What do I want them to understand? You can't do it wrong if you have good intentions, right? So don't give yourself too much pressure to try to be perfect or try to like meet certain criteria. You've just got to realize supporting someone is natural. Loving someone is natural. Wanting a safe and harmonious birth is natural. So just allow the naturalness of it and the fact that this is a God-given right to have children. That's why you can do it. So being in support of that, you just have to allow yourself to recognize it's natural. You can do it. You can be a good support person. You can't get it wrong if your intentions are good. And just to kind of figure out what you need to show up on the day, whether it's, again, getting your nervous system ready for a lot of intensity and maybe having to make some hard decisions under pressure. Like, we had to do that with our first, with Valentina. We had to make some big decisions and we had to back ourselves and know where we sat. So obviously communicating with your partner beforehand, being on the same team, and like just establishing a good relationship when it comes to what happens under pressure beforehand. That's kind of my best advice, is just figure out for yourself that confidence that you guys can get through this together. Just like let that seep into you a little bit, that you're going to be okay at the end of this. I just did my absolute best to provide the support that I thought you'd need in that time, or that was kind of inspired in me. So
yeah.
if that was the outcome, then obviously the intention and the preparation was key.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Thomas. That's all the questions.
Can I ask you a question before we go?
Yes, ask me.
So when you're thinking about what does a mother need from a support person, like what would you say the top 3 things are that you need from a support person during that time? Like what are the things that made what I was able to offer so important to you during that time?
Yeah, I think the number one is just being there, like being present. So being available. I know I've heard horror stories of the support person having naps and sleeping. Can you believe it?
Or during the active
During
labour?
active
Because I did fall
labour.
asleep during your what was that?
Yeah, that's pre-labor. That's
Okay.
like before, like, yeah, okay,
Not in the
that's
hospital,
fine.
at home,
Get
yeah.
rest. Yeah, no, but I think just being there, being available, being ready to just hear what I need is number one. So if I'm needing a drink of water, a lip balm, some spray in the face, like a little bit of food, the tense machine going up, or the ball, a hug, a hand to hold, just being available for that is number one. So you asked for three, okay.
Maybe just give me that. Maybe the top one's good enough. Like 3 is just like, you know,
Three,
very corporate.
okay,
Give me
yeah.
your top 3.
Top 3.
Do you think it's important for your support person to be super calm the whole time, and to be the person that isn't fluctuating, is like stable?
Yeah. Like if I'm trying to remain calm for these contractions, the support person needs to really guide you through that. So when I started to when the contractions got really quite intense, Thomas was the one that held my hand, and we actually did every breath together.
Yeah.
For like hours. I was in long labor, so with Valentina. So just being that calm space to go to recenter you and get back into your breathing.
Yeah, I think the breathing is like something that you have to do also as a support person. So getting involved in the breathing actively helps you. So definitely breathe together. It's a great. That's one of the main things that we always do is kind of get into the breath together and regulate our nervous system by saying, all right, we can still breathe. We can take the next breath, and that next breath brings us forward into the experience. Yeah, God bless you all. And if you're pregnant right now, I hope you have a wonderful experience and a great birthing experience, and blessings to your kids and to your families.
Thank you so much, and good luck with your journey, and I hope you have the birth that you deserve and you want.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much.